How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Another episode of the NR2003 career mode. This is race number 3. We are at the Rock, North Carolina Speedway. And before we get started, here's a look at the point standings. You can see here in the top 10, Dale Earnhardt is currently in the lead for points at 330. The drivers in blue, those are full-time drivers, so those are the guys we're really competing against. Jimmy Hensley with 325, Steve Grissom with 284, Rick Mass with 282. We find ourselves right now after 2 races in 31st. We have 143 points. We're 187 off of Dale Earnhardt and 182 off of Jimmy Hensley. Real quick though, before we get started, I do want to make one quick note. The last 2 races, pit strategy has not really been any part of the race. And I guess that's just due to the fact that the races we've been running have been so short. So I'm bumping the pit stop frequency up to ×2. We're going to see how that affects things. Hopefully that means that we will have to pit at least once during the race, and it will bring pit road into consideration. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into qualifying. Alright, here we go. Qualifying at the Rock. I've really struggled in practice with looseness through the corners, but we were fast, so I may not try to push it during qualifying, may just try to hold on for a good time. Gonna run a little higher on this corner. Alright, another good qualifying run for us. Looks like 4th is where we're going to be. Alright, we're going to get ready to take the green flag here. You can see around us, we've got a pretty stacked lineup around us. Starting in 1st, we've got Dale Jarrett, our rival from the last race. In 2nd, Dale Earnhardt. He won the race in real life. To our left, starting in 3rd, Ernie Irvin. Behind us, Mark Martin, Harry Gant. So this front 6 is really stacked. I certainly don't feel like I deserve to be up here based on my own accolades, but we ran good in practice, we ran good in qualifying. A little nervous about how loose we were at times in practice, but I'm hoping that as we get into a run, we can kind of find our groove, we can settle in. But yeah, here we go. Race 3 is underway, and we got a great jump. Let's see what that'll do for us. I think that Earnhardt just started really slow. Really high. I think we got 2 underneath us right now. Yeah, I had to hold off because of the cars driving in underneath us. So we fell back quite a bit there, but we avoided a crash, which we can't say the same for pretty much every lap we had at Richmond, so we're making progress, it seems. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear inside. Alright, we can finally dive down to the bottom of the racetrack here, where I would prefer to be. Outside. I was having my best success in practice running the bottom, though that's generally the case for most tracks that I go to. I am just, for some reason, more comfortable having cars on the outside of me than I am having cars on the inside of me. And that's obviously something I'm going to have to get used to, because in NASCAR you can't really be, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to that sort of thing. So we got Michael Waltrip right behind me. I'm hoping he doesn't dive in too far. We're going to try to pass on the outside here, and it looks like we're going to be able to do it. Got a good run off the corner. But now we're on the outside here in turns 1 and 2. And we're clear. Alright. So it looks like, based on my findings so far, that we will be able to pass here at Rockingham. you know, hopefully we can make our way up. We can get a good run going. Fuel is something that I'm going to be interested to look at. This is our first race on ×2 fuel and tires. The projected laps right now, we have 48. This is a 99 lap race, which means that we should be able to get by with one stop, especially if we have some cautions. But our pit window, again, if we have no cautions, our pit window is going to be pretty narrow. We're going to have about 2 or 3 laps where we can hit it and still expect to make it the whole way. Got a car coming in on our inside, but we got a good run off the corner, but don't think we're clear, but, well, they braked a lot. But I will just take the high road on this one. Yeah, we're still clear of them. So we're sitting in 9th right now, pretty comfortably in 9th, though we're making a pass here. No, I don't think so. I think we're going to fall back in behind him. I'm relieved to know that I wasn't the only person on the high line that fell back a little bit. You can see Earnhardt is there in 7th. He qualified 2nd. He was outside pole. And yet, in the shuffle of that opening lap, he fell back and finds himself in 7th right now. But it's Dale Earnhardt. I'm sure he's not too worried about being in 7th right now in the early stages of this race. We're not even a 10th of the way done. We keep getting runs to the outside into the corner, but I don't think I'm going to have much success trying to pass on the outside. Though we're certainly going to try here. He's still there. I can barely see him. And we're not going to clear him before the corner, but he braked a little harder than we had to. We might be able to get a good run off, and we are. I see Jared up there, too. He also fell back. I guess that's just how restarts seem to go. We got a good run on Dale there. We might be able to make the pass on the outside in this corner. Not sure what to do about these two cars. They're too wide. We're going to follow the 63. He seems to be faster than Jarrett. Though I don't want to get... I don't want Jarrett to be too close to my back bumper based on what happened in the last race. Again, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. So you can have a little bit more context about what happened. I said earlier that passing on the outside was going to be tricky, but passing on the outside seems to be working really well for us. There's a lot of grip, it seems, in that middle lane. So when the cars in front of us dive down, and we can kind of close them off from getting into that middle lane, we're able to make pretty good progress passing in this middle lane. Coming up on Gant now. We got a great run off the corner. Whoa, and he just closed the door on us. Alright, that was not smart driving by Harry Gant. Maybe his spotter didn't communicate well enough where I was. Yeah, all the grip on this track is in this middle lane. So we just got to keep remembering that. As the race goes on, we'll see how the tire fall off affects that. It's obvious we have a fast car, so for me, that tells me let's let it stay green, because even if we can't, you know, leave some of these leaders, we're at least going to get enough of a gap between us and some of the mid-pack cars to give us a bit of a safety net if something does happen to us. Been riding behind Mark Martin here for a few laps. We're finally coming up on some lap traffic. And so I'm almost wondering if I missed my window to pass Mark now, because this track, I think that there's two clear grooves. You got the bottom and you've got this kind of riding this stripe that I'm riding right now. But I just don't know that 3 wide is really gonna work on a track like Rockingham. Ernie Irvan is stuck in traffic right up there. We can see him. So this is a good opportunity for both Mark and I to gain a little bit of ground here. And now we are right here on him. The 3 of us leaders are all right here together, and we've got about 3 seconds between me and Harry Gant, who is in 4th. Earnhardt's fallen all the way back to 10th. Jared in 9th.
Keep low. Still there. Clear.
Well, I got into Mark a little bit there. He's going to get into the wall, but I think we're good. Well, Mark Martin owes me one for that one. I'm just hoping I didn't damage too much in my car. That was a pretty stupid move on my part. I'll admit that, but I'm fortunate to not have lost the car. We are in some serious traffic right now, if I've ever seen any. And the 56 and the 41 aren't going to give me a lick of room here. They are fighting. They're not fighting to stay on the lead lap because Ernie Irvan already passed him, but...
Car outside. Stay low. Stay low. Clear outside. Car outside. Clear.
They're racing me really hard, and I'm... There we go. Come on. Give me some room, 56.
Car outside. Keep low. That car's a lap down. Clear. The next car's the leader.
And now he's going to get right up on me from behind. That's Ernie Irvan right there.
Still there. The next car's the leader.
He is trapped right behind somebody, too.
Car's the leader. Clear. Outside. Clear.
He's finally going to get around the 79. So are we.
That car's a lap down. Car outside. The next car's the leader. Clear. Car inside.
We're making an aggressive move on the outside, but there's just nowhere to go.
Clear. Car inside.
We were cleared, but
Keep high.
I had to check up. And I'm not going to be cleared going into this corner.
Keep high. Clear. Outside. Keep low. The next car's the leader. Clear outside. Outside.
Whoa, what am I doing here going 3 wide?
Middle. 3 wide. Clear outside.
But it's going to work because he's held up by the inside traffic. I'm able to get by in my preferred middle lane.
Here comes the leader. Stay high. Clear.
And we are now about to lead the first lap of our NASCAR career.
You are on the point.
Lap 29 in the 3rd race. We finally led a lap. now I just have to remind myself that, because I have a tendency to want to drive it in as hard as I can all the time, and I have to remind myself that in order to make it another 70 laps, it's probably a good idea to drive at 50-60% of what I can and save the car. It would be better to save the car in this instance. I was hesitant before the race started to mention this. Rockingham is probably one of my favorite tracks to drive. It's not my home track, but it is one of my favorite tracks to drive in video games. I don't know what it is about Rockingham, but the high bank turns, the D oval. I love the D oval. The short D oval, like Richmond, Rockingham, Myrtle Beach are probably three of my favorite tracks on the schedule this season. So I'm excited that we get to go to those a lot. I'm hoping to pick up some good results from those tracks because those are the tracks where I definitely feel the most comfortable.
The yellow flag is out. Let's go. Race back to the line. There's an
You know what?
accident in
I'm going to let the 11 have it. I'm not going to race him hard.
turn one.
An accident in the pits in turn 1.
Pit road is closed.
Alright, well, hey, I can't be mad about 34 clean green flag laps.
Okay, we're under caution. Catch up to the pace car. Stay behind the pace car. There's an accident in turn 2.
I see some of the remnants of said accident. Let's consult the replay, see what happened here. What a surprise, the 56 car that was running us so hard here seems to be one of the cars involved in this. Yeah, well, I don't know whose fault that was, if Kenny Wallace just drove it in a little too hard. I think 36 is Kenny Wallace, or is that Ken Schrader? It is Kenny Wallace, and let's go to this angle here and see if we can determine who's at fault here. Yeah, I don't know. Kenny Wallace, I think, just drives into him. I mean, I have to put the blame there on Kenny Wallace. He just looked like, to me, that he just drove in on it. One more angle. We're going to look at the cockpit camera of Kenny Wallace. He's coming up on the 56. Yeah, I mean, there just wasn't any room there. He just ran right into him. He tried to create a gap where there wasn't one, and now granted, the 56 car, I mean, kind of squeezed him out, but that's not it's too early to be trying to jump into a gap like that at this track. We just can't go the full way on fuel if we stop right now. I just don't really see the value in stopping right now. I don't know if anyone will. Looks like some cars are. Looking at a replay, it looked like a lot of the lead lap cars were coming down pit lane. I want to try to stretch this into a one-stop race. Maybe I should have come down pit road, taken the opportunity to get fresh tires and fill up. They're gonna have to pit again, unless we go yellow for a long time. They're all gonna have to pit again. So yeah, I don't know. At this point, my hope is that it either stays green for the rest of the race, or we get another caution here, maybe at lap 55. All right, I'm a little nervous about the restart because this is our first restart where we've been on the point.
Green, green, green. Inside. Still there. Still there. Clear inside.
And the guys behind us are going to be faster. So that's certainly something we've got to keep in mind here.
That car's lined up. Car inside.
And well, I got a little loose there. So this is really the beginning of my fuel window here. I got to start really paying attention to fuel. I think I can make it the whole way now on fuel, if I pit now at least. But I am worried about pitting now. Because it's a short track, if I pit now and a caution comes out, I'm probably trapped a lap down, and that'll ruin my day. So at this point, I'm hoping for a caution here. I never hope for a caution because I like green flag racing, but I am hoping for a bit of a caution here in the next few laps. If I don't get it, I have to hope for green flag racing through a pit cycle, so that'll be interesting. Alright, I think next time by, I'm going to make the call, I'm going to pit.
We'll fill you up. Go, go, go! Limit 45. Keep it under 3,500 in second.
Alright, and now, with 40 laps to go, we can make it the whole way on fuel. The question is going to be, can the guys up front make it the whole way in fuel? Because I've got 54 laps of fuel basically right from leaving the pits. We had more than 54 remaining when they came in, so I think that they're not going to be able to make it. My biggest fear, though, is obviously now a caution coming out before I can get myself back on the lead lap. If I can race my way back to the lead lap, then I'll be in a great place. If I'm unable to do that and a caution comes out, it could get really bad, and we could be trapped a lap down, which would kind of ruin the day. But that's just the nature of this kind of racing. We don't get that with stage racing anymore in real life, which kind of saddens me. And yeah, sometimes it means your favorite driver gets their day ruined by the wrong strategy call, even if the call wasn't, you know, it's wrong in hindsight, but it wasn't the wrong idea. And we are just, I mean, it is amazing the difference that fresh tires can make, because now we are able to just glide past even Mark Martin, who's somebody who has a really fast race car, someone we were struggling to pass earlier when we were on equal tires. When we have the tire advantage, it does make a huge difference.
There's an accident on the front stretch.
Oh no!
Race back to the line. Outside. Still there. Clear outside.
That's exactly what I didn't want to hear.
That car's a lap down. Outside. Clear outside. Car inside. You're in the middle. 3 wide. Car outside.
And
Pit road is closed. Keep it under 45. Keep it under 35.
And in all that, in the race back to the line, I just overdid it there and got turned. That's really unfortunate. I'm going to have to go into replay and kind of see what my car looks like. But yeah, we are going to be trapped a lap down, which is really unfortunate, because now everybody's going to come into the pits and take their final stop. So strategy is really going to kill me this time, unfortunately. It's a shame how a strategy call like that can really do us in, but you know, that's the nature of the game.
Okay, we're on the lead lap. Stay on the outside line.
Why?
Stay behind the pace car on the outside line.
On the outside line? Huh? Does the game count me as being on the lead lap? What's happening here? I'm so confused. I don't know why the game gave me this spot, but I'll take it. Though I'd hate being on the outside.
Green, green, green. Keep digging. Inside. Stay high. That car's a lap down. Stay high. Clear inside. Here comes the leader.
I'm racing pretty hard here to try to stay on the lead lap. I'm not just going to give it up
Here comes the leader.
in case we get a caution, but it's going to be hard to hold him off. Is Michael Waltrip leading the race right now? He is.
Comes the leader. 20 laps to go.
We're able to keep Mikey behind us. Alright, well at this point, if a caution comes out, it'll be a single file restart, so... I mean, that would still be okay. It would put us back on the lead lap and possibly give us a chance to make a couple of passes, but... our hopes of working our way back to the front are pretty much gone. Our first win won't come here at Rockingham, and I don't think our first top 10 will come here either. The next car that we can pass is the 4 car. I think we eventually would have caught the guys ahead, but I think we are simply gonna run out of time. I see the 4 car up there. It's the burgundy car. Right in front of that blue car, but I'm not sure if we can get... it's gonna take a good run around these next couple of corners.
Car inside. Keep high. Stay high. You're up top. 3 wide. Car inside.
And it looks like we are gonna get past him, and it's us right behind Elton Sawyer.
Clear. Inside.
And I'm gonna bump him and get right by Elton Sawyer.
Go. Race back to the line. Okay, we're under caution. White flag. 1 more lap to go.
And a bit of a questionable move, maybe, but I did what I had to do to get by Elton Sawyer, and with that, we will finish in 13th place. So that about does it for the race today. Michael Waltrip gets the win. 15 cars finished on the lead lap, last of which being Mark Martin. You see Dale Earnhardt there finished in 2nd, so he will probably retain his points lead. But like I said earlier, this is the last race for a while with Earnhardt in it. So pretty soon we will see the leaderboard be populated with the Busch Series regulars, and hopefully in the process we can make our way up that leaderboard, put together some good finishes. We had one of the fastest cars out there today. And I'm proud of that. We ran a lot of really good laps. We led our first laps of the season, of our career. And it's unfortunate that pit strategy got the best of us today. But it gives me a lot of hope for the future of the season, that we've shown that we can run up front with some of the guys. Some of the guys like Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, Harry Gant. So that shows a lot of promise, and I'm really happy with that. So if you made it this far in the episode, I really appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future races, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.